With the regulation that's coming through and with the push in technology, that regulation is going to cast a spotlight on the investment management world. So you either have to sort of not join in or join in. And I was asked if I wanted to put my name forward. Very happy to put my name forward. And bizarrely, I got voted in. So that's fine. What I really want to achieve, though, is some cohesiveness and collaboration within the investment management world. And you can only do that with a platform like Fix. It's non-profit, there's no bias to it, and I quite like the fact that people are doing the work there free. They want to definitely make their world better, where they actually work, but they want to make the industry work more effectively and more efficiently. Because ultimately, the investment management world, you have a big responsibility. You're looking after the assets of ultimately the most vulnerable people in society, old people generally. So it's a big responsibility. So I take it quite seriously. Yeah. So Hugh, and Hubert, who are my other co-chairs, we've sat down and looked through. So we know that regulation is going to be a big driver of this change. We're in our seats for 2 years now. This is going to move across that spectrum. One of the things we want to look at, which is far out, is blockchain. We want to understand what implications that has. If you think about how blockchain works, there's a real resonance with how Fix could be utilised within blockchain. It's open source, it's collaborative, it's non-profit. That works very well in the industry. It makes us more effective and more efficient. So blockchain is one thing that we want to look at, but that's clearly something that's a more far view. What's really interesting for us at the moment is reporting transactions. That is something that is a standard, that's a protocol for the industry. There's no alpha in it, so it's about just making sure that we can utilise Fix and be able to demonstrate that we can report trades, again, in a sensible fashion and comply with the regulations that are there. Hugh, Hubert and myself are actually meeting this Friday. So what we're going to do is put together a manifesto, if you like, of what we want to achieve. I said earlier that what I want to do is engage with the investment management world and say, look, we can push out, these are our thoughts, but actually what we're interested in, just as interested, if not more interested in, is getting the feedback from, because we represent the investment management world, so what we want to do is get their feedback. So I've already had a couple of good discussions today at this conference, and I know that I'll get some probably emails and other forms of communication, talking through things that are interesting and important to those, and from that we'll pull together, some probably 3 topics that we can develop and deliver on. There's, blockchain's an interesting thing. We're not going to deliver on that in 2 years, but it's something you've got to start somewhere. But what we want to do is focus on some, 2 or 3 that we know we can deliver on. And I thought that Adam, Paul, and Mikhail, I thought did a great job in pushing through some of the initiatives. And the one I really thought, and Adam talked about it earlier, was the new issues. It has been difficult to get your arms around that for a long time, and I love the fact that we're now starting to get some traction. So that's definitely one we're going to pick up with and push very strongly. Yeah, Fix has got a very important place within the industry. It started off really as just a seed of an idea, and it brought forward standards in some very straightforward trading, and it's developed into some very complex and necessary protocols and standards within the industry. As an industry matures, and I've said this a number of times, you get more automation, you get more regulation, more standardisation, you get less people. Hopefully you get a better product. I always use the parallel of the car industry, because people used to make cars. Generally people don't make cars anymore. Robots do, and you have people overseeing. Cars these days are pretty good. They don't rust, they start, whether it's cold or hot or whatever. So Fix has quite a responsibility to ensure that as the industry matures, that they are front and centre of delivering better outcomes for the underlying client. And as I said, they are the most vulnerable people in society. You know, we're looking after people's pensions. 2016 is interesting because it was going to be the year where everyone was getting themselves ready for the upcoming regulation that was going to pop open on January the 3rd, 2017. It's not. And I think that there are going to be two plays that come through. The first play will be the people who will have a sit and watch approach. But, you know, they'll carry on doing their day-to-day business, but they'll sit back and watch. I do think there's a better route, which is getting yourself prepared. All the text hasn't been written, but you're going to have really think about how you're going to do some of this stuff, and you need to get things lined up so you can respond quite quickly to what's actually going to happen. So for me, 2016 is, even though regulation isn't going to appear for another 2 years, 2016 should be about your preparation so that you're set ready for when the text is written and it's baked in, you know what you need to do, you're running quick. You know, evolution rather than revolution.